Hey guys, it's Laura here from LK Yoga, and today I'd like to take you through a few tips for your downward dog. So first of all, we're actually going to start in mountain pose. So we want our feet to be about hips width apart. You want to just gently rock the weight to the front of the foot and then the back of the foot to either side, so you come to sort of a neutral foot position. The weight is going to be under the balls of the feet and the toes and through the heel. So you want to make sure you're lifting those upper arches. And then we're going to draw up through the body, so engaging the quads slightly so you can feel them firing. Very slight bend in the knees. I'm going to let the pelvis tilt down slightly to bring it in line. Engage the core, so we're going to pull the belly button slightly towards the spine and then almost bring the lower ribs sort of contracting in and down slightly. And then from here, it seems contradictory, but you want to kind of hold this position and try and open up through the chest. We're going to lift our arms up overhead. The fingertips are facing forward. Now I want you to think about here is a slight wrapping motion. So we're going to be bringing the shoulder so that your inner arm is going to face inwards. So either arm is going to come in slightly. So as you're doing this, you want to feel that your shoulders are coming down and in slightly. And with this motion, you'll feel your lats, so these are your side back muscles sort of here, engage. So we're going to engage the lats, twisting these inner arms, and then we're going to take those fingertips and face them forward. Now this is what we want our arms to do in downward dog. So rather than having them out like this, where you're locked out in the elbows, you've got this wrapping sensation in the upper arms facing inwards, and then your hands are obviously flat on the mat, so they're actually spiraling outwards. And then we've got the weight in the fingertips and the the palm of the hand. I've got fly in my hand. So there's a little gap of air under here. So I'm going to show you this in the position. So we're coming into downward dog. We're just going to walk the hands out on the mat in front of us. We're going to take the palm of the hands and the fingertips to the mat. And keep the knees really bent at first. So wrap those arms in and press back, like so. And some other alignment tips while we're in downward dog is to try and keep the neck in line with the spine. So you don't want to be looking at your groin or looking ahead. So when you're thinking about where you're looking in the position, it's probably going to be just under your body. You're going to be looking towards the mat below you. Now this is really important, because if my head, I'll just show you, is here or here, then my spine is going to be really bent when I get to my neck. And you always want to try and elongate in your poses in yoga. So also while we're in downward dog, you'll notice I bent my knees quite significantly. So most people in downward dog don't want to be immediately working towards getting their heels to the floor. It's much more important to be getting this upper body arm engagement than it is to get the heels to the floor. So you want to try and keep this back as straight as possible. So if our back is straight and our heels are on the floor, that's a really flexible position. So you've got straight legs and straight back, which is where the pose will eventually end up. But for most people, if we're being a bit more realistic, we're going to keep a slight bend in our knees so that we can work on getting those hips towards the ceiling instead. And then with time, we're going to try and work those heels down. So often at the beginning of class, the teacher might cue you to pedal your feet out in downward dog. So that's like really working on this, where you can keep that back straight, and you can take it in turns to straighten your legs in this position rather than just trying to get both heels down at once. So I'm going to show you the pose one more time. And so yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to pop me a message, and thanks guys, I'll see you soon.